What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel, Wealth Hacker Labs. I'm your gracious host, Jeff Rose, and let's just go ahead and dive right into it. Many of you are still waiting on the status just for an update regarding your IRS economic stimulus check, the $1,200 check that is coming your way. Over 70 million Americans have already received their check either via direct deposit, and they're still reported anywhere from 60 to 80 million, which is a pretty big discrepancy, that are still waiting to get their paper check. Now, if you actually go to social media, I'm on Twitter, just typing in stimulus checks to see what the status is on most people's checks, and you can still see, don't know what that is, but anyway, but a lot of people still haven't got their check, and then came across this article, which I actually mentioned this in a video over the weekend, how if you hadn't received a check yet, or if you received a check and it went to the wrong account, how the IRS would send you a letter 15 days after the check went out, which is like awesome, great, not really. But then just seeing here that people are getting a letter from the president, including, which I guess is part of the check. So awesome. If you did get your check, you also got a letter. And many people aren't really happy about that, but you know, that's a whole other story. But there's a letter going out, but what I really want to focus on today is that one of the most frustrating things with the online portal, which is the Get My Payment tool that the IRS created, helping Americans try to find out what the status is on their check and there's anything that needed to be done to expedite their check, to update their direct deposit information. And if you're not familiar, this is what the portal looks like. So this is the Get My Payment portal. You can go to irs.gov. I'll have a link in the description. You would then just click this Get My Payment tool, and then you just walk through this process, and you could then hopefully find out what the status of your check was. But most people, when they complete this process, were getting technical difficulties or the payment status not available. And the IRS just released, and I found this article on CNBC, talking about how the IRS has updated the portal that should give you more accurate information. Now, prior to this, what the story was, which I shared in a previous video, that they would update the portal every 24 hours. So if you got some sort of payment status not available, some sort of technical difficulty, error message, basically they would tell you to come back in 24 hours the next day and to see if there's any update. But what they're saying now is that here is actually from IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig. These further enhancements will help even more taxpayers. We urge people who haven't received a payment date to visit Get My Payment again for the latest information. So if you haven't gone there today and you are still one of the several million that are still waiting, I encourage you to go to the portal today and find out if there's any update to your status. Once again, this is the Get My Payment portal right here. This is what it looks like. I'm sure many of you have been here. Maybe you haven't been back because you just have PTSD and don't want to go through that whole experience. Either way, if you are still waiting, still need an update, I once again encourage you to go to the portal, find out if there is an update. Now, one thing also that I found interesting is that, so just depending on where you live and your banking information, so if you do get a paper check in the mail, how do you cash it? Can you get to your bank? Is your bank open? And so that is one of the issues, concerns that many Americans have. Well, PayPal. So typically with PayPal, if you aren't familiar, if you open up an account with them and if you have to cash something in, if you have to receive a payment, they typically would charge about a 1% service charge. But because of recognizing that many people are still quarantined, that you can't get to a bank for whatever reason, you can now cash your $1,200 economic stimulus check, and PayPal, which usually charges that 1% fee, there is no fee, and then basically you can cash your check for free until May 31st. It's a nice gesture. I'm sure they're just wanting people to become PayPal customers. And you know, for me, I use PayPal frequently, either for both business and personal. So I have both my PayPal accounts synced up with my bank accounts, and I've never had an issue with PayPal. In actuality, there have been several times where even using my credit card through PayPal has helped dispute different charges, especially when it comes to eBay, whole other story. But I only shared that because if I trust PayPal. I'm not worried about PayPal. This is a video not sponsored by PayPal, so do not feel like they are paying me to say this. Just saying that if you need an option, you can install the app. And I will say, going on this article here, and I'll have a link in the description. It basically walks you through how do you actually deposit the check. So if you click on that link, it brings you up to this window, and then, which I have said I haven't had any issues with PayPal in the past, and I haven't had to call them a lot. The one time I did have to call them, it was regarding an eBay transaction that I had to dispute, and they were very helpful. But then when I did come to this screen here, I did get this pop-up just letting you know that if you do go this route and you need to make a call to them, that they are experiencing a high volume of calls. So just be aware. But either way, click here, and then it'll go through the process of what you need to actually cash the check. And then once you cash the check, and all you're doing is taking a picture with your phone, you'll be syncing that to your bank account, and then you should be able to transfer it straight to your checking account with no fee whatsoever. And that is just a simple way. And I don't know if you've ever deposited a check via your phone. If you have a smartphone and can do this, it is so dang convenient. It's almost like, wow, how did I ever used to go to the bank and sign a check and have to wait in line or go in the lobby? You can do all that through the PayPal app. Very easy, very convenient. And once again, right now, up until May 31st, PayPal is not charging you a fee to do so. And that's really for the day. Those are the quick updates I wanted to share with you. So if you haven't been to the Get My Payment portal in a few days, now may be the day that you get an update. And I'm curious if you are one of those that still has been getting that payment status not available. If you go there today, I'm curious, has that message changed for you? Do you actually have a date now on when your check is going to arrive? Or if you actually are one of the ones that received the paper check with that nice signed letter from the president, also let us know in the comments below. Just keep us updated on what's going on and anything else that might expedite anybody else that's still waiting. All right, y'all, Jeff Rose once again reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and all you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace.